Hello YouTube, this is Weekend Railroader once again. This time I've got a little update here, something I just found about an hour ago at an antique store. This is a Delta Powerlite lantern. This thing dates from about the 1930s. I actually have another lantern very similar to this one, a 1930s Eco-Light. This style of lantern, these often had one bulb on the top, which was sometimes a red marker. In this case, it's a clear bulb meant for illuminating an area, as well as a big reflector on the front to act like a flashlight. These things were a competitor to another technology at the time, the kerosene lantern. This kerosene lantern's still awaiting its globe and the handle, the bail, but they were actually kind of similar in that the bail is actually pretty much the same with this little hook right here and then going down to the sides, only here it would have gone into the air tubes. So you had battery power competing with kerosene power back in the day. So this little power light cost me 15 bucks. Saw it sitting up on a shelf as soon as I walked in the door. Looked around the rest of the shop, but this is what kept my attention, and I've been looking for one of these to complement my Eco-Light, which I found for the same price actually on Craigslist, 15 bucks, about a year ago. My Eco-Light I think is a U.S. Army lantern because unlike most others, it's it's painted olive green instead of maroon, and it has U.S. stamped in the bottom. So it could have easily been an army lantern. But deltas were used as just about anywhere you needed a light. Whether it be, I think they even used them on the railroad, they used them camping, I think they used them in the military. Just a rugged, dependable, made in USA lantern. They run off a 6-volt lantern battery, which you can still find today easily. Here's your battery compartment. This one had a big old Duracell in it and will need to be cleaned up a bit because it left some corrosion and there's some rust in the bottom of the bottom plate too. But overall, this thing's in pretty good condition. I'm surprised the lens isn't more yellow than it is. Usually they're fairly yellow from aging of the plastic. But Delta Powerlite lantern. Use this number bulb and top reflector, use that number bulb and front reflector. Instructions how to insert the battery, and then Delta Electric Company, Marion, Indiana, made in USA. And I looked up the patent number, and sure enough, it was filed, and it looks like 33, and was granted in 36. So this lantern probably dates from around that era. So they're not as bright as today's LEDs, but they definitely have a bit more character to them, and a lot of story behind them, a lot of history. So there was one other lantern there for originally 15 bucks, but was reduced to $9, which I'm still considering picking up sometime, maybe. It was also an Eco-Light, only it was actually not Eco-Light, it was Economy Lantern. Same company. I think that was a Sears company if I remember right. But it didn't have a front reflector. All it had was the top, and I guess it was used for just lighting up an area. I'd never seen one like it before, so I was kind of intrigued by that. So I may have to go back and take a second look sometime. But yeah, there you have it. I will be doing my best to restore this one. I do not plan to repaint it, because that is original finish. There are some spots, however, where it's rusty, and I'll try to remove that rust. May have to touch a few spots up. I'll definitely be painting the inside of this, because I don't want that rust getting any worse. That's already pretty bad. I might clear coat it, but that's about all I would do, because I want to keep that original finish. Lanterns like this one, I completely repainted, because the original finish was not coating everything anymore. In fact, this had no finish on it. It was all rust, all surface rust when I got it. So I just had to paint over that to preserve it. But with this painted lantern, I want to keep that as original as possible. Hey folks, I've cleaned up the lantern a bit, both cosmetically and operationally, and it is working now. I found out there are 4 positions on this lamp. This position right here is off. Over to the right we have one bulb comes on, over to the left we have the top bulb comes on, and then to the far left both bulbs come on. So there they're both off. If I slide it to the right, the main reflector bulb comes on. Slide it back, they're both off. Slide it to the left again, just the top bulb comes on, and all the way to the left they're both on. So pretty cool that something this old and kind of sitting in an antique store abandoned still works. It's pretty bright too. I'm surprised. It's a lot brighter than my Eco light. So it's pretty hefty too with that battery in there. But there you have it. A working Delta Powerlite. Pretty cool.